There are 4 ships in the Aegis Vanguard line. The Warden, the Harbinger, the Sentinel, and the Hoplite. The Harbinger is the bomber of the group, and it comes equipped base with 15 missiles to make that name true. It also has this giant gun, which hits like a truck, and a really fun interior. We love a good ramp. What makes the interior so great is that you can interact with everything. I mean, everything. Everything. Not that, but that. I mean, this is just like, this is it. Every ship should be like this. This is amazing. This is more fun than shooting down other ships. It's just opening and closing things. Okay. Now let's get to stepping. The ship has really high DPS and incredible shields, comparable to a freelancer, although much faster regen. The turret is listed as a rocket pack turret, and I'll show you that in a second because it's unique. The main gun is this cannon I showed you, and it's incredible. The 4 around it, which aren't gimbled, shoot like this. I recommend firing them all together, not gimbled, so all the bullets go together. It's got a good landing gear up animation. So this is the rocket pack. It only has a DPS of 500, which is actually pretty low. But this is the only turret in the game I've ever seen like this, and so that's kind of fun. Now let's get in some combat. It's not the fastest ship in the world, as you can imagine, given its size. Pretty good lock-on speed. Let's kill the bounty first. Oh man, all these guys are so nimble. The rest of this fight went very well. I'm really enamored with the Harbinger's front weapons. I had a lot of fun. They shoot slowly, but they hit very hard. The big fat ballistic cannon is probably the most fun ballistic weapon I have ever played with. And the having of 15 missiles, it was also great. It meant I could keep firing them pretty much as long as I wanted. That makes it a really good 1 or 2 person ship, so you can easily have a friend hop in the back and tool around. But it's nice that the ship does not need to have a turret gunner to be effective. Also, the fact that there are fat shields on it is a huge plus in combat. The Vanguard Hoplite is the dropship variant. The guns are all different variants of ballistic repeaters, and they do slightly more damage than the Harbinger. They have slightly more shields than the Harbinger as well, but 7 less missiles, which makes sense. The Harbinger is the bomber. I'm curious to see how the interior is different. Ah, that's how it's different. So you got room for 6 troops here, a poop ton of guns. You still get these cool doors and stuff that you can open. Oh, and your quantum drive. Don't forget. Behold. Okay. So you have all of these things instead of the other living quarters and whatnot of the other one. Now let's head out into space and look at some guns. It still has a high DPS. Very high. Again, almost 2K. Slightly better shields, which is pretty sweet.
Aegis combat assist activated. Systems green.
The turret does about 100 more DPS than the Harbinger's turret, and it's got these ballistic cannons. The weapon package, although rated better than the Harbinger, is less fun to play with, in my opinion. The rocket pack is more fun. The big fat gun in the front of the Harbinger is more fun. This is all more typical and less fun to fight with. The Vanguard Warden is the heavy fighter variant of the series, and it has less DPS than either the Harbinger or the Hoplite. But 12 missiles gives it more than the Hoplite, the dropship. And its turret does more damage than the Harbinger. It also has 4 laser repeaters in the front with the large ballistic cannon. Living quarters. Munitions. Storage. Bathrooms. I'm a vampire. I like this interior a lot. This like blue color. As I'm sure you may know by now, I'm a huge fan of laser weapons as often as possible. Ooh, that's a freelancer turret. I love this. Look at that guy. We should go kiss. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Just kidding. So we have a fast ballistic repeater in the center, similar to the Hoplite, and then these 4 ballistic laser cannons on the side, which I don't believe can be gimbled at all. You have the same shields that are superior to the Harbinger, the Hoplite shields. They're about 3K stronger. And let's go get in some combat. If you're not that good at dogfighting, which I would happily admit that I am not, all the Vanguard ships might be for you. Their beefy shields and high DPS output from the pilot seat are really desirable. Having a turret gunner in ships like this is nice, but is not necessary the way it might be when you're in, say, the Hurricane or the Gladiator. But these strong shields really make... I'm in a 4v1 right now. And I don't have to worry about running away too quickly. For the sake of time, let me just skip forward and tell you that I did win against all of the opponents, although it did take considerably longer than when I was playing in the Harbinger. The Aegis Vanguard Sentinel is the interdiction variant of the Vanguard series. It by far and away does the most damage, over 3k DPS, and its turret does 3 times more damage than any of the other variants. The sacrifice in the base model is it has half as many shields. However, It doesn't use all the power in its current power generator, so upgrading them probably wouldn't be too much of a hassle. It also has one of the most beautiful features in the game, which is EMP. The only other ships that I know of with EMP are the Warlock and the Hawk. Ooh. Look at this. Okay, this one thing makes it also have the sexiest interior. Oh. Look, network servers. Hell yeah. We can have a LAN party in here. All right.
Aegis combat assist activated.
Although I will point out...
Green.
Oh, that's what I want. That they are distortion weapons. Distortion weapons do damage to shields and systems, not to the hull. So once these bad boys knock down someone's shield, it is up to the pilot and the other weapons to finish them off. Don't forget, with your EMP, you're gonna need to go and turn it on. Menu. Weapons. On. And then you can right click to charge it. Now, some of your primary weapons in this ship are also distortion weapons, and you might feel like not doing more hull damage is a detriment, but most of the life of a ship is shield life. It doesn't take long to bring a ship down once its shields are neutralized. This fight was also really long, primarily because my main bounty was an Anvil Valkyrie, which is an incredibly beefy ship. Once I had taken out the Valkyrie, I made quick work of the other 3 targets because the distortion weapons really do just eviscerate the shields. This setup in particular, with 4 distortions and 1 laser, might not be the golden ratio for that kind of combat, but it was a lot of fun to play with. Especially considering that the turret also does distortion, you might want to add a few more normal laser repeaters onto the front or onto the turret. But between the EMP feature and the distortion, fighting in this thing is a pleasure. It would be nice to customize the shields to make them a little beefier because they're half as strong as the other 3 Vanguards, but they still are quite strong.
Proximity alert. Head.
Hell yeah, dude. The Sentinel is the way to go. Having EMP, strong shields, strong weapons, and a dope turret makes it right now my favorite of the Vanguards.